Okay, what we're going to demonstrate today is the bag-in-a-box dispensing system with a bag-in-a-box of GTX high mileage and a full flow pump supplied by Coca-Cola distributors. An air-driven pump. It's rated for 4 gallons a minute. You can see the oil in the clear tubing on the inlet. The outlet comes to a Wonder Bar wine gun that you'd find in any restaurant or bar anywhere in the world, for that matter. The world leader in the technology. This particular gun is set up for 4 flavors, each indicated by a letter, and each individual tube has a spot in the inlet to the back of the manifold. It's dedicated tubing to the push buttons on the gun, so there's no possible risk of cross-contamination. So we're actually going to dispense into my vehicle, one of my older cars, my oldest car, my only car, and do a actual oil change. So with that, if somebody's got the timer, we're going to set that time for 1 minute. Are you ready? Tell me when to go. Get a close-up on the oil going in the car if you will. How close are we to a minute there?
30 seconds.
Fairly smooth, fairly straightforward, no spatter, no spill. Directly into the crankcase, a smaller stream than you get actually pouring a quart bottle. And it's very quiet, the cycle of the pump. So this is to me a very straightforward way of dispensing oil into the crankcase. I haven't spilled a drop around the entry to the filling nozzle at all.
Stop.
I can stick that gun right in there if I chose. So that's a full minute, which should have been about 2 to 2.5 quarts. And that looks to be, actually it looks like we pumped a little bit more than that. And we're doing it based on time, since it's a positive displacement pump, and we measure the rate of dispensing earlier at about 1 quart every 20 to 25 seconds. And the hopes were to get 3.5, 4 quarts in my car, which would have given me some type of presence on a dipstick. And sure enough, we do have some oil on a dipstick, so we're just about full. I'm going to put in another 10 seconds worth to ensure I got enough oil in the car. Ready with the time? Tell me when.
Go.
Easy to restart. Continue the cycle of filling. Tell me when to stop.
Stop.
And it shuts off nice and clean, very little drippage and spatter coming out afterwards. So I think that's a good oil change. A couple things that we've already talked to Wonder Bar about: the metal coil, which is a flex coil. We don't want that scratching up against crankcases or against the fenders or outside of the vehicle. It's a pretty smooth surface. It really shouldn't cause too much of a problem, but they do make a flexible flex hose that would replace that. It's made out of rubber. The bar gun itself, this is the wine gun, which is a 4-port dispenser. It's a large diameter ported gun. They recommend it for this application, and it seems to work quite fine. So I don't know if there's too much modification that would need to be done to this to make the system actually work. And that's about it. The pump itself, that particular pump, costs around $50. The wine gun is around $250, $300. As a one-off, as a one-time purchase, buying in mass quantity would be obviously a lot cheaper, and the system would be driven by any available compressed air system at any Quick Lube or Tire Lube Express anywhere in the country. So there's not too much to this. It's fairly simple, fairly straightforward, and works fairly effectively right out of the box. Thanks.